I've been searching high and low for a love that's true, to give him my heart, but I found so few.
Hey y'all, Joefer here, the cranky old gay guy. And today I'm going to be talking about gay dating. Specifically, is he the one? Well, to start off, we need to ask ourselves a question. What are we looking for? Because if you don't know what you're looking for, you're probably not going to find it. You're going to find everything else, but not what you're looking for because you're not sure what that is. But first off, you're looking for a man, I presume, or a lady if you're a lady, or pros look for things too. You got to ask yourself, is it a friends with benefit kind of situation you're looking for? Is it just a hookup? Or is it a boyfriend slash husband slash wife relationship kind of thing? Because the things I'm going to cover, you're going to ask these things of your partner, or maybe not directly, but I think that's the best route is communication. But you might not ask some of them if it's just a hookup because it doesn't really matter. Or it matters, but not enough to keep you from hooking up. So, first off, you want to find out if I'm going to focus more on the boyfriend relationship part. So if you're looking for a boyfriend and you go on a date with someone, normally, at least in my experience with gay dating, there's no waiting till the third date. People find out if they're compatible in the bedroom right away. So that's something to discuss. Perhaps you've already gone there, so you already had the answer to that and you don't have to talk about it. But if you haven't, you should probably find out before you invest a lot into the relationship so you won't be let down later, or you won't be letting down the person that you're seeing. Number two, well, there's really no numbers here, so I'm not going to number them. And that is monogamy versus an open relationship versus a polyamorous relationship. What are you open to, and what is the person you're dating or going on a date with open to? If you're open to all those things, that's great. You just widen the field. But if you are someone who wants a polyamorous relationship or in one and you're just looking for another partner, that's probably going to tighten the available men, because a lot of men don't want that. There are men that do, and there are men that don't. The same with an open relationship. There are men who that's all they want. And there are others who absolutely don't. They want a more traditional, monogamous, I'm for you, you're for me, you're the one, there is no other, that kind of thing. And if that's what you're looking for, great. And if that's what they're looking for, great. Move on to the next step. And that's politics. I know that opposites attract. And sometimes someone who's totally opposite of you in your political thinking can be really hot. And a friends with benefit thing, that might not bother you at all. Or if it's just a hookup, it might not bother you at all. But if it's going to be your boyfriend or your husband, are you going to be able to live with their politics in the long run? And are they going to be able to live with your politics in the long run? Again, this is something you guys need to talk about, or you're potentially facing some drama down the road if you just gloss over that in the beginning. Then ask yourself, does he like animals? I know maybe you don't have pets, so it doesn't matter. But if someone likes or doesn't like animals, it tells me a lot about that person and how we're going to get along. Being someone who was raised with pets my entire life, and I have pets as an adult, I can't imagine someone who doesn't like dogs or cats or pets in general. I know people that like dogs but not cats, or the opposite as well. But someone who just doesn't like any animals, I don't know if that's someone that I could be around in the long run. To me, it shows a lack of compassion, but that's just my opinion. I am not an expert and by any means on relationships or dating. I'm just going by my experience. And if someone doesn't like animals, I don't know, there's something going on there under the surface. Now I know that a lot of you are probably going to attack me because you don't like animals. Well, that means we would probably not be compatible anyway. Um, it's different if you don't like animals because you were mauled as a child or you have severe allergies or something. But just the thought of not liking them. When you see those ads on TV about shelter animals, and what's her name is singing that sad, sad song in the background, I don't like to watch those because that does touch me. And the advertiser knows that. And that's why they're playing Sarah McLachlan. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about the animal thing because that's personal to me. And I know that it might not be to you, and that's fine. That's not a question you have to ask if it's not an issue. How does he treat other people? When you go out on a date, does he treat the waitstaff well, or is he bossy and complaining and finding everything wrong with everything that the waitstaff is doing? Not the food in particular, but the waitstaff. Just think about that. If someone's treating the waitstaff poorly and the waitstaff isn't doing something to deserve someone's anger or displeasure, what does that tell you about the person who's complaining about it? It tells you that, I don't know what the saying, if you've heard the saying that when someone gets crapped on, they seek out someone else to crap on. So if someone's treating waitstaff poorly and the waitstaff hasn't done something to deserve it, then the person complaining is just crapping on them. And that's either a power trip or someone is crapping on that person. And they think crapping on someone else is going to make them feel better. That's a different philosophy that I don't follow. I have been a dick in, not a waitstaff, but in a service industry, retail. I remember one instance I was appalled with myself and I apologized. And it was one of those things where I was having a bad day. I was sent from work to go to an IKEA of all places to get some parts or something. And I took someone else with me and he was aghast at the way that I was talking to the clerk because I was really ticked off that I had driven across town in traffic to get this because they told me to come get it because it was available. And then I get there and it's not something that they have in stock or they don't carry it, even though they had talked to me an hour earlier and said, come get it. So yeah, I was pretty upset with that. It was taking a big chunk out of my workday and now I was going to have to stay late. The person I was with, when the clerk walked away to go check on something, he looked at me like, oh my God, what's up what's up your butt today? And I was really not in a good mood. And you could say I was cranky in a rude way. I did end up apologizing to the retail clerk. There was no cause for me to do that other than the fact that I was given misinformation and that is not the way to run a business. That's just my opinion. The person that was helping me had nothing to do with whoever I talked with in corporate in that store who told me to come in and get these things. So think about that if someone you're dating is being mean to someone who hasn't done something to warrant that. Just think about that because that waitstaff person could be you, not in a waitstaff situation, but down the road. Okay. Does he have family? Some people do, some people don't. Is he close to his family? Some people are, some people aren't. Some people have nothing to do with their family. But if he has family and they're local, how involved is he with his family? And, this doesn't really matter if it's a friend with benefit or if it's a hookup. But if he's going to be your boyfriend and you're going to be expected to spend time with family, is that something that you can deal with? Do you want that? Or maybe he's not with family, but you have a family that you do holidays with. Is he going to be open to that? I have a lot of in-laws, and I don't spend a lot of time with them. Yeah. When my parents were alive, I saw my relatives a lot more, but now that they're gone, my interaction with a lot of relatives just doesn't take place anymore. But if my parents were alive and I was dating someone long term, yeah, they would be involved with my family, or I would want them to be. And if they didn't want to have any part of that, that could be an issue as well. So if they're doing things with their family and that's not something you want to do, talk it out before. It's not maybe not a relationship ender, but talk it out before that holiday comes around, so they're not expecting you to do something that you don't want to do. Oh, this one, again, I'm going to get a lot of complaints from people on this, but does the person you're dating have any addictions? I'm not condemning anyone that has an addiction. I'm not condemning anyone that has a drinking issue. I am simply bringing it up so you know in advance what to expect or what you could possibly expect. I have a history of being around people who have addiction and drinking issues. And I don't know if I would want to enter a long-term relationship with someone who's not in recovery, who's actively still using. I don't think I would want to put myself through that, because being around these people in the past that I cared about really hurt. So just think about that. And again, I'm not condemning you. If you like to go drinking, that's great. But if you don't, or you have a drink, but the person you're dating gets wasted every time you guys go out, again, is that something that is acceptable for you in a long-term relationship? Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Maybe you were raised and that's raised in a way that that's what everyone does on weekends. I know plenty of people that do. But if it's not, you want to know that before you do a long-term committed relationship. You already covered the bedroom thing. So that's out of the way. And I bring that up because I know several relationships that the guys were great, but they were incompatible in the bedroom, and they ended up just kind of drifting apart or cheating on each other because they weren't getting what they needed or wanted. Next one is, in general, is he a nice person? How many times have you gone out with him? Was he a nice person when you met him at speed dating, or when you met him at bowling, or wherever you met him? Was he nice to you then? Was he flirtatious enough? Was he not showing interest? Was he showing interest? I mean, you can probably spend an hour with someone and kind of pick up on their vibe and know if they're a nice person or if they're not. That's where I'm going to leave that. Just ask yourself, after spending time with them, are they a nice person? Because if they're not, do you want to continue seeing someone who's not a nice person? Think back to relationships that you've had in the past. I know people who've only had 1 or 2 or 20. Think about those and think about how and why they ended. Has every relationship you've ever been in ended almost immediately, or ended within 2 months or 3 months or whatever? And are you still friends with your exes? And ask again, why did they end? Because if all of them ended in a bad way, what is the common denominator there? Because you want to go to those places and think about the past so you don't repeat that mistake. Now, if all of them ended and you can see no fault in the guys that you were dating when you ended, the common denominator there might be you. And I'm not coming down on you about that, but think about that too. It's like if you've gone out with 5 guys in the last year and all of them broke your heart over whatever. Well, did they, or is that kind of a self-sabotage thing that you ended it because you weren't getting what you needed? And if you weren't, then maybe ask in advance for what you want and what you need before you go down the road and get so involved that it breaks your heart at a later date. Again, I am not an expert in any of this. This is just from my life experience. So take it with a grain of salt or a shot of Tabasco or whatever it is that you use to relax. And feel free to comment, and I look forward to reading them. And I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good Monday night. Bye.
I've been searching high and low for a love that's true, to give him my heart, but I found so few. But every time I think I found the one, red flags appear and then they're gone. Is he monogamous, or does he want to roam? Can he carry a conversation, or am I alone? Does he love animals? Does he treat them right? Or does he yell at wait staff, thereby causing a fight? Is he the one? Oh, is he the one? I'm so tired of searching, I'm not having fun. Looking for love, a heart that's true. Is he the one? Oh, could it be you? Does he have addictions, secrets to hide? Does he look down at others with too much pride? Is he compatible in the bedroom scene? Or does he get trashed, getting angry and mean? Can I see myself with him for the long term?